Hey guys, today I want to talk to you about my summer reading goals. Now, like I mentioned in my last video, May was my final exam month, so needless to say, I didn't get a lot of reading done. Even after exams were over, I was just kind of brain dead and didn't feel like reading. I also decided in May that I will no longer be staying in this apartment for next school year. I was lucky enough to find an apartment even closer to campus that was actually cheaper than where I'm living now, so I will be moving there in August, but in the interim I will be moving back in with my parents for a couple of months to save some money, and that basically means that all of my books and my life are kind of in this very packed up transitional mess right now. You guys know that I don't normally do TBR videos, but because my life is a little bit up in the air right now, I'm still looking for an internship. I'm not sure what my schedule is going to be like or what my internet situation is going to be like at my parents' house. Because of all that, I just wanted to put out this kind of TBR summer reading plan videos so that in case I drop off the face of the internet for a while, you guys at least have a vague idea of what I will be reading this summer. First up, I want to talk about Japanese June, which is a really cool event put on by Colleen from Little Ghost Creations. This is basically a super casual read-along, reading event type thing where the idea is to read novels set in Japan by Japanese authors. Mercedes from Mercy's Bookish Musings and Sabrina from Unmanaged Mischief are also kind of co-creating the event / participating, and I know that Vanessa from Chbosky is also participating, and as somebody who is a self-professed lover of Japanese culture, I thought I would go ahead and participate as well because I think that I've always been interested in Japanese literature, and yet I never take the plunge to go past Murakami. I will go ahead and link all of the videos that I've seen about Japanese June down below in the description if you'd like to check out more about the event, and I would highly suggest you go at least check out the TBR videos to get a sense of what Japanese literature is out there. If you watch those TBR videos, you might notice that they are all very, very long. I'm talking about 8 books per person that they're setting aside for Japanese June. You guys know I don't tend to read that much in a month. I'm lucky to hit 5 or 6 books even when I'm on break, so my TBR will be a lot smaller. I think I have like 3 or 4 books here. First off, this is the book I know I will be reading because I have a physical copy of it, and that is Teach Us to Outgrow Our Madness by Kenzaburo Oe. I've actually owned this book since high school. It's a short story collection that I have already read a few short stories out of. I have yet to read the whole collection though, and I haven't picked it up since high school, so I thought what better time to do that than during Japanese June. Also, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that Kenzaburo Oe is considered one of the greats of Japanese literature. The next 2 books on my list are ebooks, and I'm not entirely sure if I will be picking up both of these or just one, and if I just pick up one, which one that will be. And I know that sounds complicated, but that's just because I'm going to be borrowing these from my library's Overdrive site, and it kind of depends on which one is available and how my reading month is going so far. The first one of those options is The Gate by Natsume Soseki, and from what I understand, this is a Japanese modern classic which was originally published in 1910. All I really know about this is that it's about a couple that live on the outskirts of Japan. They live a very quiet, humble life, and they basically are constantly dealing with the consequences of having married against their family's wishes. The other option I might be downloading from my library is 1Q84 by Haruki Murakami, and this would, of course, satisfy the Japanese June mini challenge of reading a book by Murakami. I would like to say that I'm leaning towards 1Q84, but I'm also incredibly intimidated by it. If you've ever seen a physical copy of the novel, it's pretty massive. I believe in Japan it's actually standard to print it in 3 volumes because it is so huge. So that's kind of intimidating. However, it's also pitched as Murakami's most ambitious work and kind of along the same vein as 1984. So I'm very intrigued and yet very intimidated. So if you guys have read 1Q84 and you think that I should just bite the bullet and go for it, please let me know in the comments and help me decide which of these 2 ebooks I will be downloading. The last book on my Japanese June TBR is A Pale View of Hills by Kazuo Ishiguro. Now, I believe that Ishiguro actually identifies as English or British. I'm not entirely sure which is the correct term in this case, but I do know that he is actually Japanese. He was born in Japan, and apparently that still counts for this read-along. A Pale View of Hills is about a woman that moves to England from Japan in the aftermath of World War II, and she basically dwells on the devastating effects of the war on Japan and on her daughter's recent suicide. I think this will be particularly interesting because although I haven't actually read a whole lot of World War II fiction, I have definitely never read anything from the perspective of somebody who lived in Japan during the bombings. So those are all the books that I plan to read for Japanese June, but I also just want to mention quickly 2 other books that I will definitely be getting to this summer. First off is Inked by Eric Smith, and this is one of the ebooks that I mentioned in my recent book haul. I did receive this as a review copy, so I will be reading it and reviewing it sometime this summer. And lastly, come hell or high water, I will be finishing The Two Towers out of the Lord of the Rings trilogy this summer. I have been reading it for months, very slowly. I think I'm only like 4 or 5 chapters in, but I just haven't really been in the mood for fantasy, and I think I just need to get over that and do some reading because I always enjoy it once I'm reading it, and this was the only bookish resolution that I had really for this year, was to finish Lord of the Rings. So if I can at least get through Two Towers this summer, I think I should be right on track. So these are all of the books that I hope I will get to this summer. You guys know I'm not good at sticking to TBRs because I'm a definite mood reader. So I'm just gonna take these more like guidelines. Can you tell I'm of the Pirates of the Caribbean generation? All right, so I have to go finish packing. I actually delayed taking that down and taking all those down so that I could film this video, but the next time I see you, if I see you this summer, I will be filming probably in my parents' backyard. So I hope you guys have a great summer. If I don't get to talk to you, if you are participating in Japanese June, please let me know in the comments and let me know what you're gonna be reading. And yeah, okay, I hope you guys are having a great day and I will talk to you next time. Bye! 愛し合って喧嘩している中に二人で乗り越えて Okay, that didn't make sense. A pale view of say yeah, yeah, say yeah.